everyone. I'm Dr. Candace Mathews, national renowned human civil rights activist and advocate, and also National Minister of Politics for the new Black Panther Nation. And we are here today because I'm here to announce that we have filed judicial complaints on some Harris County judges. One of the judges that we filed on today, actually, is the 280th Protective Order Court, Judge Diane Curvey. This is another judicial complaint that has been filed with the SCJC. Basically, with this complaint is a violation of civil rights. We have, with the report that I sent in, that I actually had to notarize when you send this in with the application, we have copies of court documents, and we also have copies of the court transcripts to show the civil rights violations that's been filed on my client, okay? Then we have another judge who we have filed on, and this is basically Judge Deetra Davis, that's in the 470th, 270. the 270th of court, civil court here, right behind us, and she's on Facebook Live at the bench discussing the case. That violates all judicial canons. You cannot do this. I don't even care if you don't even say their name. You cannot discuss cases, and then you're doing a Facebook Live on the bench. This is unacceptable. We do not use our tax dollars for this type of behavior with these judges. I don't care if you Democrat, I don't care if you Republican, I don't care if you independent, I don't care if you Mickey Mouse. This is not what we pay our judges with our hard-earned tax dollars to govern the citizens of Harris County. And this is unacceptable. So I like to be transparent with the community because we have both of these judges that are up for re-election. And my advice is that we are going to fire them because they have not displayed proficiency in their work. And this is unacceptable. So we have other community members that are here that are also court watchers because we are here. We are the boots on the ground. We go to every last one of these courtrooms. We evaluate these judges. So this is not no secondhand information. You getting it from the horse's mouth. So I'd like to bring up Kyle French.
Morning. I'm here to talk about Judge Diane Curvey, and in particular, we have a judge that's sitting on the bench right now whose husband has an ankle monitor on his ankle. This is after efforts from Candace and I and members of the community to get him out of the jail. Currently, Mr. Derrick Johnson is under the protection of the people of Harris County from the abuse of his judicial wife, Diane Curvey, the judge of the 280th District Court. Now, what we know about Judge Curvey is she's had several name changes. We can count 5 at least. This is her representing herself as Damianne Banier as a sanctioned attorney before she became judge. Now, why would somebody want to change their name before they become judge? To hide a sanction, that's why.
And you know what? It's funny that you say that because we endorsed her. We had no idea that this was going on. So this is how they slipped through the cracks, y'all.
Kevin? All right, so additionally, we've got her going by Arnie Lowe, even representing her name here on her Facebook page, When Derrick Met Damianne, My Last First Kiss. So we're talking about a judge that got married, they got in a hot romance, it sounds like, and when he asks for a divorce, she asks for a protective order, essentially a gag order to keep her husband at bay and on a leash during an election year, to keep her husband from telling the public what we already know. These are her ratings from the Houston Bar Association. Very low. Follows the law 38% of the time. I'm not going to read the statistics. Those are very public. I advise everybody to go take a look. Here's my review. This is my sanction I received from the State Commission on Judicial Conduct for her bad behavior, breaking the law. I received that after I was sentenced to the Harris County Jail for doing the same thing Mr. Johnson's doing, speaking out against injustice of a sitting Harris County judge. Mr. Kevin Freimeyer right here, hold that, Mr. Kevin. Mr. Kevin Freimeyer right here also received a sanction from the State Commission on Judicial Conduct for my case as a courtroom watcher. People were being kicked out and violated their civil rights, their constitutional rights, and the state Texas Open Courts Act. You cannot seal off the courtroom and then lock people in jail, me, your husband, or anybody else. These are a list of additional complaints that I've gotten just this week. These will result in more judicial sanctions. We're going to be filing more grievances. To date, we have been reporting, we all have judicial conduct grievances, all of us standing here, plus some of us beyond that aren't here to be able to be represented today. These are your judicial canons, okay? These are the rules that every Texas judge must abide by. These are the law of the land. Judge Curvey has violated every single canon except for 3 subsections of canon number 6, okay? Everything in the book, okay? Last of all, I just want to show you some proof. I have receipts, all that. I've mailed off my complaint. We've amended it several times. And I have a message for Diane Curvey. You're in possession of your husband, Derek Johnson's property, and you have been for several months. You've kicked him out of your home. You've illegally put a protective order on him to keep him from talking to us, these cameras, these people, the people of Harris County. He needs to get his property back. In particular, you have medical devices that were issued by the Federal Veterans Affairs Hospital. Those belong to the federal government, and you're withholding his valuable medical necessary equipment and his personal things, his underwear. Okay? We just had a talk about drawers. I mean, we could bring his underwear up here too if we need to. You need to give the man his stuff back, okay? And you need to stop screwing the people of Harris County. The SCJC, we're asking you to remove this judge. We've been asking, I'll say it again, it keeps happening. Now we're using the law to control the media. We're paying with campaign contributions. Judge Curvey has paid $7,500 to go after Candace Mathews, doctor, and myself, several other members of the community. Using campaign funds to go after members of the community, using campaign contributions to fund your private legal battle against me to defend yourself from sanctions, $5,000 paid to Mr. Toby Johnston to protect your personal affairs so that you can keep your eye out of the media. Okay, that's all I've got. So, anybody else? We'll take questions.
So, this conduct that y'all got going on around here in Harris County, it is done. We are going to put the hammer of accountability on any rogue, corrupt judge. I don't care what county you come from. Texas have 254 counties, and we'll ride down on every last one of them. Because I've been around this state, and I'll bring my friends with me.
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, when you are a judge, you're supposed to be fair, you're supposed to be impartial, and you're supposed to follow the law. You're supposed to follow the judicial canons. And when you don't do so, then that's when this cowboy hat comes out. So do we have any questions from the media? Thank you, and this press conference has been concluded.